Hello and welcome back to my YouTube video. If you beginner, so if you want to know about how you can block the URL in FortiGate firewall for the LAN users, and if you have the license in FortiGate firewall, so this video going to be helpful for you, right? So in this video, particularly, I'm going to discuss about static URL filter and FortiGate category based filter along with web rating override, right? So here, as you can see that I have made diagram for you. So just I'm gonna make you understand about this topology, how this topology is connected in my GNS3. So how I will show you that how I am going to block the URL in FortiGate firewall. So as you can see that behind this FortiGate firewall, I have two virtual machine, right? So these two virtual machine which is connected to the my FortiGate firewall port 2, right? So you can see that this is the Firefox, right, for web browsing. So and this is the virtual machine. I have installed Windows machine in VMware, and this VMware machine the Windows machine which is installed in the VM, and this VM is connected to the my switch, and from this Windows machine I will try to use, let's say, any of the URL, website, let's say www.com, right? Uh, any could any this website can be any of the website, let's say abc.com or any URL, right? So let's say this user is trying to access this URL, so it may be this URL will be a malicious URL. So the the manager which are sitting in your LAN environment, and he want to block these URLs, because these are the URLs which are harmful, and this URL should not be allowed for the employee. So what I will do as a network engineer, I have to block these are the URL on the FortiGate firewall, so that these are the URLs should not be accessible from the LAN machine, right? So here, as you can see that I have the FortiGate firewall and in this FortiGate firewall I have a license. So VM license. So using the VM license, I can block and allow the URL as per my need. So, and this FortiGate firewall is connected to the internet, right? So this FortiGate firewall is providing internet to the LAN user as well as, and this user is connected to the internet. You can assume. So, particularly in this lab, I have my mobile. Let's say my mobile hotspot network, and this hotspot network is connected to the my GNS3 VM, right? This GNS3 VM is providing internet to the my FortiGate firewall, right? So this is all about this lab setup that I have made for you for demonstration, right? So here as you can see that I have written some points related to the static URL and FortiGuard category-based filter. So what is the difference between FortiGate static URL and FortiGuard category-based filter? So there is nothing, only one difference between static URL and FortiGate category-based filter. So static URL has a more preference, means higher priority than FortiGuard category-based filter. So it means FortiGate static URL filter takes preference over FortiGuard category-based filter. So here as you can see that I have related some points regarding static URL. So you can read this URL and you can understand what is the difference, right? So let's say web filtering order education, right? So first it will check the static URL filter, then FortiGuard category based filter, content based, advanced option. So if you want to use flow based inspection, right? Flow based inspection, or you can say you can use proxy based inspection, right? So it's depend on you, but in this video particularly, I am gonna use a flow based, right? Flow based inspection, right? I will use following method in this topic: static URL, as I told you in the beginning. So I will use here static URL filter, FortiGuard category based filter, and web rating override. So here, as you can see that static URL takes preference over FortiGuard category based filter, right? So in the static URL field, right, if you use like action block, so no FortiGuard category will check, and if action is allowed, FortiGuard category will be checked, and if action is exempt, so no FortiGuard category will be checked, and neither no security profile will check like antivirus IPS. So here, as you can see that the diagram which I told you in the beginning. So these are the setup which which you can assume that using this setup, I will block any of the URL. So in this lab setup, let's say this is for your for example, HTTPS. There is any website which is malicious or any social media, social networking website. So if you want to block these are the website. So you can block on the FortiGate firewall if you have license, right? So let's go to the my VMware Windows machine. So as you can see that this is the my Windows machine which is installed inside the VMware workstation, right? So first I would like to show you the connectivity, right? Whether I am able to access internet or not. Then I will try to show you the filtering method, right? So here as you can see. So I'm able to access internet. So it means everything is fine working in my lab setup. So right now you will be able to access any of the website, right? Because I have created only one rule, right? And there is no security profile is applied on the particular policy. So you have to keep patience because I'm using my mobile hotspot, so internet is working a little bit slow. So I'm just showing you for demonstration. So it might be helpful for you if you want to block any of the URL, right? So go to the, as you can see that in my FortiGate firewall I have the license, right? So that's why showing these IPs IP, right? Go to the policy. So as you can see that I have created one policy and source and destination is all because I am using lab for demonstration purpose. That's why I allowed all. So services I have allowed like HTTPS, HTTP, DNS and ping, right? So here as you can see that no security profile is applied for this particular profiles. So right now I'm able to access the facebook.com you can see. So let's say if your manager told you that hey, you have to block this Facebook, I mean all the social media website. So what you need to do, you can use these three methods like static URL filter and FortiGate category based filter and override web rating override you can use. It's depend on you. So let's follow me how I'm using these method, right? So first I will use, first you have to go to the security profile, right? सो पहले आपको एक सिक्योरिटी प्रोफाइल क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा. आफ्टर क्रिएटिंग द आफ्टर क्रिएटिंग सॉरी फर्स्ट यू हैव टू क्रिएट वेब फिल्टरिंग प्रोफाइल, देन यू हैव टू अप्लाई दिस वेब filtering profile in the policy, right? So here as you can see that as soon as I clicked as soon as I have gone inside the web filter, so you can see that there are three web profile which are created by default, right, by the Fortigate firewall, right? These are the default web filtering profile which are created. So I'm not using these. I will not use these three security profile. I will use my own web filter profile, right? So I'll create here. So let's say I am creating for employee web filtering profile, right? So you can use any of the web filtering name. So as you can see that feature set. So I am using currently flow based, not proxy based, right? If you will, if you use proxy based, so you can define the more security, right? So you can use also limit the quota, right? So let's say if there is user, right, uh, which is watching the YouTube or any streaming website, so you can configure here, like you can configure here the quota, like how much this user can use the bandwidth, right? You can use, then you can call it inside the policy. So I'm not gonna show you the bandwidth limit in proxy based. I'm just showing you for flow based, right? So as you can see that this is the FortiGuard category based filter, and this FortiGuard category based filter features only works when you have a license in your FortiGate firewall, right? So let's say right now I have just here clicked allow, right, category based filter allowed. So I will use, let's say I will use facebook.com and youtube.com, let's say, or you can block any shopping website like Amazon, right? So I'll use here URL filter, right? Static URL filter. So I'll create here, right? Let's say first you have to use here star and dot facebook.com and wildcard block. Means let's say any user which is sitting behind the FortiGate firewall, it means when there is user which is trying to access facebook.com, so this facebook.com should not be allowed anymore. So I'll use these option to block this facebook.com. Then okay, I will, let's say I will use, I will block youtube.com. You have to use star asterisk and dot, then youtube.com wildcard and action, what action, block. So as you can see, facebook.com and youtube.com, right? So if you go up inside the FortiGuard category based filter, you will see here streaming media and download is allowed, right? And social networking is allowed inside the FortiGuard category based filter, and YouTube is also is allowed, as you can see here inside the streaming media, right? So first you can verify, as well as I will show you also that how you can check that in which category these URLs. comes right, I'll show you. So just go to the OK option, and the web filter profile has been created. So you have to go to the policy and apply this web filter in, on policy, right? So go to the policy. As you can see, there was no any security profile, so I have created web filter profile. So I'll apply here which profile which I have created, right? Employee web filtering profile. So as you can see that profile has been applied, web filtering profile has been applied inside the security profiles. So you can see. So now facebook.com and youtube.com should be blocked, right? So first of all, I will remove the cache, right, history, because I have a single machine. So let's say I will try here facebook.com. So as you can see that I got the message like Fortigate intrusion permission access blocked, right? So let's say I will try to use facebook.com. This should be also blocked, right? So as you can see that I got the warning message, right? So as you can see that block youtube.com is blocked, right? So go to the log and report. You will see that these are URLs which are blocked, right? Go to the log and report security events. As you can see that web filter profile which I have created. So these are the URLs blocked, right? youtube.com, youtube.com and facebook.com we blocked. facebook.com, as you can see. So now what you have seen here. So before that, I would like to show you one thing, web routing override. So how you can check that the URL category, right? So you have to go to here, youtube.com, youtube.com. Look up here. As you see that bandwidth consuming, under the bandwidth consuming, this URL is getting, right. So if you here check bandwidth consuming, and here you can check here category, in which category these URLs come. Social networking, right? Facebook is comes under social networking, and YouTube is comes under which category, bandwidth consuming. So go to the web filter profile. So here you will see the bandwidth consuming. So here URL comes which category? Bandwidth consuming, right? And facebook.coms come under social networking. Social networking, this one, right? So even though you can see here, social networking is allowed under a FortiGuard category based filter, and youtube.com is also so here you can see I have blocked facebook.com and youtube.com here, right? Action is blocked, but you can see here inside the FortiGuard category based filter, right? youtube.com is allowed. I mean, it comes under bandwidth consuming, and Facebook comes under networking society. Then also, YouTube.com and Facebook.com is getting blocked because static URL takes preference over FortiGuard category based filter, right? So if you use here, let's say if you allow action here, if you do here action allow, so and inside this category and FortiGuard category based block, then also URL will be allowed. Let's say if you block here, right, social networking, all the social networking site must be blocked. So you can block here, right, and bandwidth consuming this one block, right? And here if you allow, see, if action is allowed, right, so then what will happen? Then if action is allowed, then FortiGuard category based filter will check, as I told you in the beginning. If in the static URL, if action is blocked, right, if static inside the static URL, if action is blocked, so no FortiGuard category will be checked. If action is allowed, so FortiGuard category will be checked, right? So if you go to here, if you have blocked, right, you have blocked the streaming media and download, and you also block the social networking, and here inside the static URL you have allowed, right, facebook.com. So what will happen, then also these I mean facebook.com and youtube.com will be allowed, right? Because if action is allowed, this FortiGuard category will be checked, right? So go to the static URL filter. Sorry, I have forget to mention here. I will not block category here, right? Don't worry. That's okay, fine. I don't do anything. I just try to access this URL. So this URL which is allowed inside the static URL. So this URL will be blocked, right? Because I have blocked in the category. So you can see that still youtube.com and facebook.com is getting blocked. What is happening here? As you can see, what is happening here? Let me tell you. If action is allowed, right, and if you have blocked, right, if you have blocked category, go to the category bandwidth consuming. Here as you can see that YouTube comes under streaming media and download, and facebook.com comes under social networking, right here. And you have blocked inside the FortiGuard category filter all the category, and you have allowed static URL in static URL field URL. You have allowed static you have allowed facebook.com and youtube.com inside static URL field, so then it is also will be blocked, right? Because in static URL, if you have allowed action allow, So it will check the FortiGuard category based filter. So what you can do here, you can go to the, just click here, you can go to the, what you can do here, you can use exempt option here, right? Exempt option here, action. Okay, you can see exempt. So this will be allowed, right? And inside the FortiGuard category based filter, you can see here bandwidth consuming, it is blocked, right? And social networking is also blocked, right? And in the static URL field, you have configured action is exempt. So it will not check any the profile, like it will bypass the FortiGuard category based filter and any security profiles like antivirus or any IPS, right? So you can see here it will be open, it will open, right? So here as you can see, so what is happening? You have a configured exempt option, so it will bypass the URL, right? No action will be taken. Go to the security profile, security events, and here you can see the Facebook is passed through, right? And YouTube will be also allowed. It is taking time because internet connectivity is not as good as need. Just want to show you that YouTube is also allowed, right? So just wait a minute. So now you can see that pass through, right? It means YouTube is also allowed, right? So because it is buffering, because my internet connectivity is not as good as need, because I'm using a mobile short sport network, so that's why it is taking time to get the response. So what I'm going to do now, let's say I will use option allow. What I will do then, let's say I will not use here exempt option, because exempt option is not check any security profile like antivirus and IPS. So I will not use any exempt option here. I will use exempt option only in exception case, right? So what I will do here, I will use wave rating override. So what will happen? So this if action is allowed, so what will happen? So this yeah, if user is trying to access any the particular URL, so that URL will be override if you use web routing override, right? So what I will do, I will create my own categories, right? So here go to the, if you want to create web rating override, so you have to go to the web rating override. So what web rating override do? It will override the URL even though if URL is blocked or allowed, right? In static URL. So go to the static category. So as you can see, there are two default custom categories. So I will use my own category, right? So let's say I will use white list URL, right? So action will be allowed. So now go to the create option, not create option, go to the back. As you can see, I have created one category. So go to the static, sorry, go to the web rating override again, create new. Here, let's say facebook.com. Look up the category, in which category facebook.com come, right? So as you can see that it comes under social networking. So override. So this URL will be override under the custom category. So I'll use here custom, the category which I have created, what list URL. So I'll use that URL. I will call that URL inside custom category. So just okay. So what I will do, go to the filter, right? So employee view filter profile from here. So as you can see that action is allowed right now, and you have logged, right, youtube.com and facebook.com inside the bandwidth consuming category. Here you can see, and social networking. Here you can see this is the block, right? So I will not do anything. I will just show you if action is allowed, and inside the FortiGuard category based filter category is blocked. You will not be able to access the URL which you have allowed inside the static URL. As you can see that it is blocked, right? youtube.com, you can say also that, try to check. Now you go to the security events, right? To check the log, go to the web filter. So as you can see that earlier I was able to access youtube.com and facebook.com. If I show you, it is not showing the logs right now because it is Getting okay, 5 minutes. Okay, I choose one. I will use 1 hour, so you will be able to see the logs as well. So earlier, as you can see that facebook.com and youtube.com I was able to access, but right now I am not able to access youtube.com and facebook.com because why? Earlier I have used the action exempt, right? So right now I have used the action only allowed. So here, if you use action is exempt here, so if you use action exempt here and if you have blocked the category in FortiGate category based filter, so it will URL will be blocked. So what you have to do, you have to go to the web rating override and as I shown you, you have to first create the custom category. So I have created the custom category, as you can see here, custom category. So then come back to again a web rating override, and you have to create here, right? So you have to create the URL, facebook.com facebook.com, and you have to look up the category and look up the rating. So as you can see here, it comes under social networking. You have to choose here override option and you have to choose here custom category and the custom category URL you have created. Just I have created here. So I have created right now. I will not create here. So I'll have to back go to the web filter and edit this option. So what I will do, as you can see that it comes under local category. So local category will be I will use here action allowed, not monitor. So youtube.com and facebook.com will be allowed, even though it comes under social networking. Here you can see it comes, YouTube comes under bandwidth consuming and it is action is blocked, right? And facebook.com comes under social networking, right? Action is blocked. So inside the static URL, I have allowed. So what I had did here, I just create a web rating override, and after creating web rating override, I have allowed this static category and local category. So local category will take preference over FortiGuard category based filter. So I will select OK. So the moment you select OK option, so what will happen? This URL will be allowed, right? So here, as you can see, facebook.com is allowed. Now you can check the log as well as to check 5 minutes log. I will not use 1 hour. I will use 5 minutes. So you will be able to check here. Facebook.com will be allowed. It is still showing here. You can see. Let me remove the history first. Then you will be able to understand. Facebook.com and com, youtube.com. Okay, because it is working slow because my internet is not as good as need. It is working slow, right? So you can understand that how you can do. Let me tell you one thing. Uh, if you have a multiple URL, right? So you want to block that URL, you can also do that. Let me try to check why it is getting blocked. YouTube.com I haven't allowed, so that's why it is getting blocked. So what you have to do, so go to the web rating override. So as you can see that I have only created one facebook.com for override, so I have to create here for YouTube as well as for the category bandwidth consuming comes custom category. I will use here static URL, just okay, and go to the web filter. So just edit here. You can see that whitelist URL comes under local category. So YouTube will be allowed, right? So now try to check it out here. So as you can see that now I'm getting the response. So go to the logs, go to events, try to refresh this page. I just want to show you that traffic will be passing here, right? So as you can see here, it is showing that, right? Because it is buffering because my internet is not as good as required. So it is it is showing that buffering, right? Here it is showing only block. So that's how you can do, right? If you want to block and if you want to allow based on the predefined based on the static URL and FortiGuard category based filter and BB rating override. Let's say if you have the multiple URLs and you want to block that URL, right? So what you can do, and you can create your own web filtering profile, right? So you can create web rating override, right? You can like here, if you want to block any custom websites, what you can do, you just create a category, right? Let's say blacklist, right? Just give the name of the category. It will comes under local. Go to the this one. Let's say Amazon.com. Sorry, first you know you have created blacklist. Then go to back to the web rating override. Then come here like Amazon dot in, look up this URL, in which URL this comes shopping. So just come here custom category and call that blacklist under this override. So what will happen, this Amazon URL will be blocked, right? So what you have to go to the web filter. So before that, I want to show you that, yeah, it is showing. So let's check that whether there is any traffic showing which is passing or not. This page. Okay, still it is not showing. Okay, so go to the security profile and web filtering, web filter profile, go to the employee, web rating filter profile. So as you can see that if you want to, by default it will be disabled and you can block this, right? So I will not okay here. Just check that Amazon dot in is working or not. It will be okay. You can block here, right? So this URL will be blocked. You can delete the history first. Then dot in. Just click here. This will be blocked, right? So here you can see that violation, right? Go to the log and report, property event. And you can see that Amazon dot in the category which I created blacklist comes under blacklist. So what is happening here? Static URL is more preferable than FortiGuard category-based filter, right? So if you have used FortiGuard category-based filter and you have created your own category, right? Local category using web rating override method. So this category will be preferable than FortiGuard category-based filter, right? So local category will be more preferable than FortiGuard category-based filter, right? Let me recall you what I have done here. So first I have shown you static URL, right? Then I shown you FortiGuard category based filtering. Then I have shown you web rating over, right? So what is means of web rating? You have created your custom local category, right? So what will happen? So local category will be more preferable than FortiGuard category based filter. So thank you for watching this video. If you have understood anything from this video, so please like and share. And if you have any suggestion, so please do let me know. So that will be more helpful that I can improve myself. So thank you for watching this video till the end.